What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the German Bear Podcast. And today I want to talk about day 3 of the 2023 Chicago Bears training camp. Day 3 was more of a walkthrough / install day for the Chicago Bears, which is obviously very important to the players, but media won't get a lot out of that. So there's not that much information on today's practice there wasn't just that much action, to be fair, in today's practice, but there was still a couple of really good plays by the Chicago Bears offense and defense. So we'll still get into that today, but just for a quick side note, for the rest of training camp, I'll change somewhat of the structure of these updates videos. I want to talk about practice first, about the different phases, one-on-ones, 7-on-7s, team period, right? And then conclude at the end of the video how offense and defense did overall, play of the day, all of that. But with that being said, I don't want to waste any more time. Tons of interesting stuff still to get into today. And with that being said, I want to start off with the first category that I want to talk about today, which is the practice overall. And the Bears practice actually started off with some one-on-ones after some indies and warm-ups obviously as well. And just for your information right away, one-on-ones, for the guys that don't know, are basically always in favor for the offense because corners really have a tough time keeping up one-on-one with that much space against opposing wide receivers. So the offense should always win those reps, in my opinion, and they definitely did today. So we obviously shouldn't put too much stock into these, but as I said, offense had a lot of completions, which is a good sign. Starting off with the DJ Moore against Jaylon Johnson. They battled throughout the entire day today, and on that first play, Justin Fields really threaded the needle and put it into a very tight window. Jaylon Johnson with a really good coverage, Justin Fields with a better ball, and DJ Moore with the better catch, which is obviously a great sign too. Jaylon Johnson being in his spot, and DJ Moore and Justin Fields beating great coverage with a good connection there, so that's a big point to start it right off. Then also Cole Kmet afterwards followed that up with a catch against Jaquan Brisker on a corner route, which by reports was a really well ran route too. Can't judge that by myself, but I just have to trust media with that right there. And also Chase Claypool, our guy who's getting better each and every practice, it seems like, so far in training camp, with 2 great routes against Tyreek Stevenson for completions, where he on both plays extended his body. And also the other tight end, fellow colleague of Cole Kmet, Robert Tonyan, with a contested catch, which I love to see as well. Those two hopefully forming a dynamic tight end duo in 2023, and it looks pretty good so far in training camp for both players. And then for the defensive side, Kyler Gordon, by reports, also had a pass breakup in one-on-ones, which is obviously always tough for the defense, but love the effort and the play right there by Kyler Gordon. So great to hear how he's coming along, making some plays now over the last 3 days, which is obviously a great sign too. And after one-on-ones actually concluded, they got into the first true team phase, which was somewhat of a true team phase, but also an install / walkthrough phase at the same time. One interesting note is that Terrell Smith actually got some first team reps, and Tyreek Stevenson actually started for the first team to begin with, but Terrell Smith slotted in there a couple of times. Now, I don't know if we should put too much into these informations because, first of all, it's install and walkthroughs, so everybody's going to get reps, not necessarily with the first team, but you know what I mean. But Terrell Smith, for me, is still a very underrated player, so I love that he gets a couple of looks with the starters, which is obviously great for him and hopefully helps him to develop with those reps. And then for the true period, we actually played a couple of snaps with more speed. On the first play, I think it was Justin Jones was really quickly in the backfield, the 3-tech for the Chicago Bears, quickly in there on the run by Khalil Herbert. Then also the Marquise Gates with the first peanut punch of the entire training camp, punched the ball out from tight end Chase Allen for a fumble, and he also recovered it. So love to see that from the Marquise Gates. He really balled out last year in training camp, so maybe something we'll have to keep on our eyes on for maybe a backup spot on special teams. But the Marquise Gates seems like a very solid player, so love seeing that for him. And then for the offense, Khalil Herbert continues to look very strong for the Chicago Bears at running back, finding cutback lanes, reading it fast, and then also bursting through the gaps. Now, obviously, all of that is without pads, so it doesn't count too much, but still, the hole was open, and he found it, and he bursted through it, though, so that's still very valuable reps right there. And then for Justin Fields and DJ Moore, they also connected over the middle for a completion on an intermediate route, which was the biggest passing play of that period. So love that once again Justin Fields targeting DJ Moore a lot in practice so far those first 3 days, and it just really displays the connection that they already have. So love how he grows and grows with every single practice. And then Tyler Scott reported about him as well. He had a really strong practice yesterday, just showing off his speed, and today had a very good route, but actually dropped the football. But I mean, for me, it's just positive right now to see him being open, and then the catches should follow as he gets more and more reps. But still love that he's getting targeted and being open there, which is super important too. And then the Bears followed that team period up with a 7-on-7 period where I don't have a lot of information about it, but Terrell Smith was once again back with the starters on that period, and Jaylon Johnson had a pass breakup down the field against Velus Jones Jr. from a, by reports, pretty good ball by Justin Fields, but Jaylon Johnson just made a better play on the ball. So he was all around the field today, which I love to hear. Jaylon Johnson, if he balls out, the rest of the secondary should have an easy game too, and we have real quality there by all of the spots, to be honest. So that's really exciting stuff to hear from the secondary already. As I said in yesterday's video, there should be a real shutdown secondary, and I'm all about it. And then the Bears finished off practice with a second team period where Khalil Herbert once again with a bigger run where the line opened up the gap well. So love it for the offensive line. No names were being named specifically there, but Khalil Herbert got a lane to run through, and that's a big plus for the offensive line, and for Herbert to find it and just burst through it again is another big point for him. Then for the defense, DeMarcus Walker in there also with a really good run stop, so he's really, as I said, emerging as a edge defender. Just did it yesterday too, and today seems like he was in there in the backfield a couple of times once again. And then also Trestan Ebner was being named here, another running back with a explosive cutback run, which is great to see. Didn't like what Trestan Ebner was doing last year in the games, actually, in the actual regular season games. But let's see how he does. He's still a very explosive player, so I'm excited for it, and I hope he balls out. But right there, good play by him in the second team period. And then lastly, we had the big play of the day where there was a pressure by Terrell Lewis, the talented edge defender that was drafted by the Rams in 2020, I think, against Darnell Wright. It would have been an actual sack if they had pads on, so Justin Fields would have been sacked there. So big play here from Terrell Lewis against Darnell Wright. And then Justin Fields scrambled out, tried to make something happen, threw the ball, and then TJ Edwards intercepted Justin Fields over the middle with a very athletic catch by reports. So love seeing that by TJ Edwards stepping up. It's the first interception for Justin Fields in camp, and to be honest, that happens, so nobody should panic about the play, honestly, because it was a sack nonetheless. Justin Fields maybe tried to do something on top, which is totally okay after the play is dead in camp or during practice. And then TJ Edwards just made a great play there too, continued to play and intercept Justin Fields. So big play right there by TJ Edwards. And then two more interesting notes for me. Dominique Robinson and Travis Gibson both were in the second string. Same with Tyreek Stevenson today. I don't think we should put too much weight into his stock right now, because I think Tyreek Stevenson is just a guy that will get a lot of reps with the first team as practice moves on. He's probably going to be the second outside corner. I doubt that there will be anybody else. It's his job to lose. But Dominique Robinson and Travis Gibson, two very good young edge rushers, especially Dominique Robinson, just a draft pick from last year. Let's see how their stock rises or falls during training camp. But right now they're doing it with the second string, which is totally okay. And that means that just DeMarcus Walker, Rasheem Green, and at times also Terrell Lewis is getting some reps there, but I don't think the conversation about the edge position is set yet at all, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And with that being said, we want to move on to the second part of today's video, which is all about the play of the day and notable players. And the play of the day is pretty simple. Already talked about it a couple of seconds ago. TJ Edwards' pick against Justin Fields. The day was pretty quiet for the entire team, but right there, that was a big play by TJ Edwards to end today's practice and just finish off strong for the defense. So love it for him. The linebacker already shows off what he can do and that he's worth every single penny that the Chicago Bears paid into him. As for the notable players on offense, DJ Moore and Justin Fields' connection popped up a lot of times once again. Also, Cole Kmet and Robert Tonyan both getting catches is really great for them. And then a name that popped off a couple of times today was Khalil Herbert, who's really looking like the front leader for the running back one spot, as we probably all expected. So love seeing that for him. As for the defense, the biggest name today was definitely Jaylon Johnson, battling with DJ Moore the entire day, just sticking with him and having really tight coverage. So I love it for him. And then he crowned it with the big pass breakup against Velus Jones Jr. on 7-on-7s. And I also love the mentioning of Justin Jones and also Terrell Lewis, just a defensive lineman getting some pressure. Love it too. We need it badly. And also DeMarcus Walker being named. So love that 3 defensive linemen got the attention today, found the backfield quickly with a sack and 2 quick run stuffs. So love seeing that. That should be a really crucial part for the Chicago Bears' success, and they show out early, even though we still don't have Pats on. I have to mention it once again, but it was still very interesting to see. And then TJ Edwards, obviously the last guy with the big play right there with the play of the day. And with that being said, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of day 3 for the Chicago Bears. Stay tuned for the next couple of days. I will keep you updated on Bears training camp as much as possible. I won't be able to talk about it tomorrow, but still, I will keep you updated for the next couple of practices. And also, you should expect a big film room episode coming out the next couple of days as well. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out Instagram and Twitter if you want to as well. And as always, guys, bear down.